Good almost afternoon to you on this Monday, it's not Monday, it's Sunday. Jesus. Cut, do it again. Sunday, August 29th. We went out for brunch with Becca to one of my favorite restaurants called The Ruby. If you're ever in Victoria, definitely hit up that spot. And I would suggest the rotisserie chicken hash. Anyways, what the heck are we even doing? I gotta get the vlog posted. And then today is going to be all about working on my remixes. I've been remixing a ton of classic dance music tracks, and we are back doing that now. I have an amazing opportunity coming up. Don't worry, I'm gonna vlog the whole day, the whole experience. You'll get to see it all. Start of a new vlog week. We are well into the back half of level 4, heading into unit 9. This unit has been flying by. A lot of just general information, I would say, in this unit, especially with regards to music business. But the studio techniques mixing classes, I am learning an absolute ton, and honestly, I'm feeling more and more confident in the skills I already had, plus the things I've been picking up from these classes. Like, I know I said it before, but this is the foundation of music production, and this is kind of the in-the-box stuff that they're teaching us to set us up to be professional music producers. From what I have seen from graduates of Icon Collective, there's about like a 2-year post-graduation climb, and I know quite a few alumni who I've either spoken to personally or been to their Q&As. The work that they did at Icon set them up to get to where they are now, and a lot of these artists are about 5 years post-graduation, and they're pretty much on support for an even bigger artist, or they're on their own mini tour and they're playing all the good festivals. So like 2 years to start seeing success, 5 years to actually starting to get to where they want to go. I've talked to some of my fellow students, and it was almost like they were thinking that that's where they were supposed to be at graduation. Really kind of setting themselves up with unrealistic expectations there. Counterpoint to that, that's why Icon teaches Art of Flow. All about artist mentality, all about the longevity of having the right attitude in the music industry. Let's get this vlog posted. Let's work on these remixes. I'm absolutely stoked for this week. Welcome back to Sunday Fun Day. Let's get our week started. We got 3 more weeks left in level 4. I literally cannot believe it. We are heading into Unit 9. Let's see what we got this week. Unit 9, Record Contracts Mastering. Starting off with Music Business. Record Contracts, Part 1. In this lesson, we'll start looking at how modern record contracts work, including these points: the legal language of record contracts, outdated terms in contracts that can be deleted, how to negotiate certain terms in your favor. Pushing forward, we have studio techniques. Mastering, Part 1. In this lesson, we'll start covering the topic of mastering, learning how to know where and whom your product is aimed towards, determine needs for genre-specific mastering, use different device chains for alternate results, use metering to get fine details out of your master. As usual, we end with a keys playing assignment. Okay, short and sweet. Unit 9, record contracts. I mean, I've signed a few. They kind of seem like reading the terms of service. I just have signed them and hope for the best. Probably not the best thing to do. And then of course, mastering classes for studio techniques. Once again, continuing forward with the bread and butter of music production. About 2 quarters ago, and as part of Icon's reward system for completing parts of the course, I actually had 2 free mentor sessions that I used to learn mastering. So I'm really kind of excited to see the contrast between what Icon's going to say about mastering and what I learned there. Mastering is definitely something that I want to get proficient at, because eventually one of my goals is to make money off of mastering other people's tracks. All right, that is it for Sunday Fun Day today. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, August 30th. We have our mentor session coming right up. Super stoked. I only have 2 mentor sessions left with Joe. These mentor sessions have been really eye-opening. I don't know if he does this with everyone, but he's all about workflow. He's all about like identifying a repeatable process that you could do across all your tracks. We talked about having a channel strip. That's basically something you put on every single channel to finalize your sound. What I have in my channel strip is like an EQ, a compressor, a saturator, and like it's not about like making myself use all of them to finalize my sound. It's like if it needs it, if it needs an extra little oomph, then you use it. When you're done, that's it. You've committed to what that sound is. And I really like that, because how many times as music producers are we going back and changing all these little tiny minute details that really in the end don't matter? As far as being on the dance floor and playing this track is concerned, no one in the audience is going to hear those fixes. I think that's a really, really good perspective. You know, on the flip side of that, it's easy to send tracks to fellow producers and peers. Pretty much everyone is going to hear something that needs to be fixed or improved. And it's not to say that that feedback is bad or anything, but it's like what really matters here. So right now we have 6 of 8 of those classic EDM tracks we're remixing into a kind of modern day style. We got 2 that we're lagging behind with. And so yesterday and on the weekend, I spent quite a bit of time working on these tracks, trying to get them up to par. One thing I did notice is that I felt kind of stuck on the track. I felt like the track was just missing something. My entire percussion section was not done. Like, I don't know what I was waiting for, or if I was going to like slap it on at the end, but like we had the whole thing arranged, we just didn't have that major piece of the puzzle in place. Sure enough, guess what happens when I get that all in? Well, the energy, the consistency, just the whole vibe of the track completely changed. It's so weird how in my brain I'm telling myself, oh, it's not this, it's gotta be my sound design, it's gotta be something else. Maybe my arrangement's not good enough. Maybe my build-up's not good enough. And then it's just like, no, you're missing an entire section that is literally the fundamentals of dance music. Oh God. The whole goal with this workflow thing is, you know, it's not black and white. It's not like I go through, you know, A to Z and then my track is done. But the fact of the matter is, if I have these big checkpoints checked off, then I'm going to be finishing music more efficiently. And there's a big difference between efficiency and speed. Speed is not even part of the equation in my mind. The efficiency part of things, where I'm not overcomplicating the process, overthinking the process, and making those stupid little changes that aren't actually improving the track, that's where this process really comes in. We're feeling good. I think we got the right mindset for Monday morning. We're going to open one of our projects here and get ready for a mentor session. Welcome back to Mental Health Monday. In this Mental Health Monday, we're keeping it low-key again. Today, I want to talk to you about overthinking. I am a classic overthinker. I'm not only overthinking almost everything I do, but I am constantly thinking in like hyperdrive. If I'm not constantly multitasking, if I'm not thinking of about 15 million things I need to do at once, I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling useless. I'm feeling bored. And so there's a few things I do for myself because I know this is just not a healthy way to be. Rather than keeping a lot of the stuff in my head, especially if it's like leading me to actually feeling bad or feeling angry or hurt or something like that, then I cannot keep it in. The more I keep it in, the bigger the story, the bigger the energy of that vibe grows and grows and grows and grows. In all honesty, my goal is to think less. I want to think less. I want to be in more of, I guess, like a meditative state. I think a lot of that has to do with learning how to live in the present. And I know that sounds cheesy as hell. Oh, live in the present, enjoy the moment. You know, it's about the journey, not the destination. But when I really think about how I feel and the thoughts flowing through my head when I'm either living in the past or worrying about the future, it's not fun. You know, there's certainly stuff that I'm excited about and I'm trying to manifest a lot of my dreams and I'm working hard, but a lot of that stuff really is just about the process on a day-to-day basis and doing my best. I think we all need to have goals. We all need to have something to strive towards, whatever that may be. But if I'm sitting there overthinking every tiny little detail about how I'm going to achieve it, or I just need to get this so I can feel successful, like that kind of stuff doesn't work. And it's that overthinking that I know gets me in trouble. So honestly, I think the key to overthinking is thinking less. How do I do that? Living in the present. I do a gratitude list. Gratitude helps me to live in the moment. Things like affirmations, prayer if you're into that, doing a meditation. I use the app Calm. Tons and tons of guided meditations. And obviously there's lots and lots of free ones on YouTube. Meditation isn't necessarily completely quieting your mind and having no thoughts, no nothing. Everything needs to be empty and you sit there like a Buddhist monk. No, meditation is just simply the practice of it, which is, ultimately a metaphor for living in the present. And once again, about the journey, not the destination. So anyways, here's to overthinking telling you about how to not overthink while I'm overthinking what I'm telling you about overthinking. Figure that one out. That is it for Mental Health Monday today. Hello and good morning. It is Tuesday, August 31st. I can't believe we're at the end of August. Yesterday, we actually managed to finish all of the lessons for Unit 9. I think because the last unit and the fact that we also have the review for the entire level coming up, it's a little bit of an easier unit. We got Ableton open already. We're jumping in to one of our remixes and we're gonna work on music, I think, pretty much all day. It's been a while since we just got to work on music and we didn't have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So it all balances out in the end. All right, let's work on some music. Good morning to you all. Don't mind my camera light strobing in my face. It's Wednesday, September 1st. We just got to the studio. We're a little later than usual. Allowed ourselves some relaxed time at home this morning. All we have is a music business assignment where we basically have to go through and understand a record deal contract. And then just a keys playing assignment. That being said, there is a Q&A today from Prodigy Artists, which is an artist management company that has artists like Ghastly, Nightmare, Sudden Death. Prodigy is a huge artist management company, so I'm really looking forward to hearing from their COO, Mike Lazanti. We've been making some pretty big headway with our remixes and our originals. I'm feeling pretty good about where our music's at. Welcome back to the Wednesday midweek check-in. On Wednesdays, we like to do an actual feelings check-in. This week, I am feeling ecstatic. I'm loving the pace of this week. I'm feeling like I'm caught up. Really, it was only my own thinking that was making me feel like I was behind. I mean, I'm a self-paced online student. There really is no behind. But other than that, I mean, just life in general seems to be smoothing out from feeling burnt out, from having some stuff going on in my personal life. And we've been able to work on a lot of music and a lot of my own behind the scenes projects this week. And I'm feeling really happy about that. All right, Unit 9 of Level 4. Music business as well as mastering. Music business was all about learning the ins and outs of record label contracts. The interesting thing is that they actually break down a contract, like a real record label contract, section by section, and teach you how to navigate it. Teach you, what royalty percentages you should be asking for in today's music industry. A couple of the terms to look out for is cross-collateralization. Fancy word for when you're signing multiple tracks, if the first track doesn't actually recoup all of the money that the label spent to promote it and whatever, then they could actually take money from your next release with them until the first one's paid off, and then hopefully there's enough revenue that the second one also gets paid off, but that could be a kind of never-ending battle. Standard industry practice is that whether it makes the money back or not, the label is basically on the hook for that. So that's a huge thing to look out for because they're going to try to put it on you. Another couple terms to understand: if something says in perpetuity, and especially if it pertains to a label and you're master of your track, that means they're gonna own your track forever. So in perpetuity, definitely something to negotiate. You eventually want your master back. You eventually, after whatever term, whatever time frame is agreed upon, you're gonna want your master back. You're not gonna want this in perpetuity. And then I guess one more thing to look out for would be a release commitment. Especially when you really start to pick up steam with your releases and you're getting on bigger and bigger labels. I've seen artists who are like, oh, I've been sitting on this track for 2 years and now the label has finally released it. So keeping in mind the release commitment and ensuring that there is a contractual obligation to release your track in a reasonable time period. Next up, one of the most important things, at least for me, mastering for studio techniques class. I have gone through many different mastering chains from other artists and people and lessons, and this first mastering class that we've had from Icon was basically a complete overview of how to master a track. Literally, they used 5 different plugins to show this. Essentially, if you have a good mix, your master is a few little tweaks, enhancing the stereo image, a little bit of EQ if needed, and then using a limiter to get the loudness up to standard. I know that this is the first of a few mastering classes, but I'm just glad to see, and it kind of refreshes my own knowledge, is that mastering is not a complicated process. It's the mix down, the mix phase, where you're cleaning everything up, you're making sure that everything fits together the way that it should. That is really where the magic happens. All in all, you know what? The best part about Unit 9 is I'm already done everything. There's one thing I got left to do, and that is my keys playing assignment, of which, for the end of this week's vlog, I'm going to show you a little update on how we started keys versus to where we are now, almost a year into doing a keys playing assignment every single week. All right, that is it for the Wednesday midweek check-in. We'll see you at the end of the week.